Hi everyone, welcome to today's webinar session that will cover everything you need to know about Binance Earn, Binance's one-stop investment solution. Now in this webinar, we'll help you get started on earning passive income with Binance Earn, where you can let your money work for you. Now that is the equivalent of today's modern digital age hustle, so definitely don't miss out how you can earn more. So before we get started, I just want to introduce what Binance is first to all the new joiners and explain our journey up until now. So Binance was actually started in July 2017 with the mission of spreading the freedom of money by becoming the infrastructure provider of the crypto industry. Now today, we are the world's largest blockchain and cryptocurrency provider with a range of financial products that includes the largest digital asset exchange by trading volume. We are trusted by millions of users worldwide in over 180 countries, and that list is ever growing. The Binance platform features an unmatched portfolio of crypto products and offerings, and we're going to touch on one of those products, which is Binance Earn. Now, for some housekeeping rules, I'm just going to go over some generally important links that you'll need throughout your time at Binance. The first is an FAQ section, which will include all related articles about how to get started on Binance. It actually includes a lot of the material that we're going to discuss today. So if you are stuck, you can refer to the FAQ section for helpful guidance. We also have the announcement section, which includes all related promotions, activities, and it will also mention any new trade and pair tokens, listings, etc. This allows you to stay up to date with what's happening at Binance. And then lastly, we have the customer support section, which is our live chat that is available 24/7, 365. So you can contact customer support if you're having any troubles with your account, and our dedicated customer support team will be able to best assist you. So some general tips along the way. So be wary of impersonators. Binance employees will never ask for your account email or password or address. So please do not share your account's information with anyone. Be wary of scams and airdrops that are not Binance official. So Binance will never ask you to send us money. So please do not send anyone crypto. Once you send the money to someone, which is likely a scammer, those funds are lost forever. So please be wary. And lastly, be wary of phishing links. These can come in the form of emails. So do not click on any suspicious links that are not from our official email domain at binance.com. If in doubt, just log into our official website as well, which is at binance.com, and you'll be able to see our existing platform. So moving on to the presentation outline, I just want to briefly touch on this before I go into the presentation. So firstly, I'm going to touch on Binance Earn, which has 5 different products that we're going to individually go through. And then in the second section, I'm going to give you a visual demonstration of how you can actually use Binance Earn. And then I'll end on some community Q&A set of questions, which will highlight some of the common asked questions that we get from users about Binance Earn. So without further ado, let's get started with the first question. What is Binance Earn? But to put it simply, it is Binance's one-stop investment solution to earn passive income with your crypto. So you can actually find Binance Earn by visiting binance.com, hover over the navigation bar, under Finance, and then you'll see a drop-down menu. Click on Binance Earn, and then you'll be directed to the landing page, which you can see here. You can, there's a drop-down or filter selection where you can type your crypto that you want to search. Below here, you've got the different sort of highlighted contracts that we have, and then if you scroll down even further, you'll be able to see all the different products under Binance Earn. But before I delve into each of the products, I want to give you just a high-level overview of how does the Binance Earn mechanism work. So firstly, you opt into a Binance Earn product. What this does is it simply transfers your crypto from one wallet to another wallet. So, for the circumstance of Binance, it is your spot and fiat wallet to your Earn wallet. This transfer is the same as the transfer that you do via traditional bank, where you move funds from a current account to a savings account. Instead of current and savings, we use spot and fiat and earn. It's different terminology, but the same concept. So after you opt into a Binance Earn product, your crypto will be transferred from one wallet to another wallet. And then you start earning passive income every day. And then obviously conditions vary depending on the product, but you can actually opt out on any Binance Earn product and cash out your profits seamlessly. So I hope that gives you a kind of a high-level overview over how Binance Earn works. And now I'm going to just touch on each of the different products under Binance Earn. So in total, there are 5 different products for Binance Earn. Each of them obviously carries their own risks, so definitely do listen carefully for those risks, which I'm going to touch on later on. So the first product that we have is Savings. And we have 3 product categories under Savings, which are flexible, fixed, and activities. Under the second product, we have staking, and we have, again, same 3 product categories. We have locked, DeFi, and Ethereum 2.0. In the third product, we have launch platform, which has 2 product categories, which is launch pool and launchpad. And then the fourth and fifth product, we have BNB Vault and liquid swap. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to just touch on each of the different products, the product categories, and give some examples of how they look on the Binance platform. So let's get started with the first product, Savings, which is I guess the most common that we see users opt in at Binance Earn. So Savings is exactly what it says on the tin. You receive interest rewards just by keeping funds in your wallet. We have 3 different product categories under Savings, like I mentioned: flexible savings, fixed savings, and activity savings. For the first, flexible savings, this is the easiest option to earn interest rewards. All you need to do is just transfer crypto to a flexible savings contract, and you can start earning passive income the next day. APY rates are generally lower in flexible savings contracts compared to other Binance Earn products, which I'm going to touch on more briefly. But they are actually quite competitive within our industry, and highly competitive against the traditional finance industry. In fact, if you actually suddenly change your mind and you want to opt out of a savings flexible contract, it's very seamless, it's very easy. You can opt out and transfer your crypto with no hassle. This is the best option generally for new users. For the second product category, which is fixed term savings, this is similar to flexible savings, which I mentioned earlier, but the difference is you can't opt out and transfer your crypto at any given time. You actually have to wait until the contract ends in order to receive the interest that you need. So for fixed terms, we offer generally 4 time lengths. We have 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, and 90-day contracts. This effectively means that once you opt out of a fixed term contract, once you opt in a fixed contract, you actually cannot access your funds until the contract expires. Now, you can actually opt out of a fixed term contract before the contract expires, but you forfeit and you lose all the interest that you have gained up to that point. So you actually gain nothing. So that's important to know for fixed term contracts. Now, for the third product category, which is activity savings, these are generally temporary schemes which last for about, at most 60 days. And these are, I guess, one-time promotions, and the APY rates are extremely, extremely high. So this is actually very attractive for users, but obviously it comes with a limit. So give you kind of a brief example of what flexible savings look like. As you can see here, you've got the different assets on the left. You've got the 7-day APY rate, and then you have obviously the ability to transfer your assets into this contract. So moving on to the fixed savings, this is what a fixed savings contract will look like. Similar to the flexible ones, you have the asset on the left, you have the annualized interest rate, or the APY rate. And obviously now we have a new feature, which is duration. So these are the contract lengths. So for certain assets, you have a full range of contract lengths. For other assets, you don't. And then obviously you have the ability, again, to transfer your crypto into this contract. And then lastly, you have the activities, which is, again, pretty similar to the previous two. But as you can see here, the APY rate is really high, and there's generally a time limit or a specific time frame. In these cases, it's 15 and 30 days, 28 days. These are, kind of one-time promotions, so to speak. So we talked about the first product, which is savings. Now let's move on to the second product, which is staking. So under staking, there are 3 product categories, which is locked staking, there's DeFi staking, and there's Ethereum 2.0 staking. So for the first, locked staking, this is similar to locked savings, as we discussed earlier, or fixed savings, as we discussed earlier. But the difference is that you're putting funds in proof of stake blockchain projects. Now, without kind of going into too much detail, proof of stake is just a different type of crypto asset. So definitely do your research on what proof of stake is. But in short, this allows you to put your funds in proof of stake cryptocurrencies. And you'll eventually also receive rewards from the blockchain protocol as well. Now, the terms of these contracts are also slightly longer. So there's 15 days, there's 30 days, there's 60 days, and there's 90-term contracts. Now, differently, the second product category, DeFi staking, this is pretty similar to the first lock staking, but the difference is that you're putting funds into DeFi projects and not proof of stake projects. So, it's pretty much as it says on the tin, DeFi staking allows you to put funds into DeFi lending projects, and therefore you receive rewards provided by the DeFi related projects. Now, DeFi staking only has flexible terms. So this is important to note. There are no fixed term contracts. So that means that you're locked until you can opt out at any time. And now for the third product category, Ethereum 2.0, now this is slightly different to the previous two. Effectively, what you're doing is you're putting your existing Ethereum into a Ethereum 2.0 staking pool via Binance. Please note that this is only a wrapper of the standard Ethereum 2.0 staking. So it is the same as locked staking, but effectively what you're doing is your Ethereum will be locked during the Ethereum 2.0 locking period as defined by the Ethereum 2.0 project. And bear in mind that the Ethereum 2.0 project is slightly delayed. So the launch, I think it's believed to be within the next couple of months. So, as you can tell, this contract will be a longer period of time as well. Now, to give you some examples of what each individual product category looks like, into locked stakings, you can see, again, similar to the previous examples, you've got the asset at the left, you've got the APY rates, you've got the duration, and obviously have the ability to stake your crypto into this contract. Now, moving on to the DeFi staking, you've got the different assets on the left. You've also got the protocol as well, which you can see here, Venus, Binance Smart Chain, Venus. You also have the APY rate. Obviously, it's flexible lock. And then you have the ability to stake now as well into this contract. Now, Ethereum 2.0 is slightly different in terms of design. But once you're logged in, you'll be able to add your Ethereum into the existing pool and up to 20% APY. Now, we talked about savings, we've talked about staking. Now let's move on to the third product, which is launch platform. Now, launch platform effectively means that you are locking crypto in a dedicated account in order to gain new projects or exchange tokens, which are yet to be launched on Binance. So let me just kind of go a bit back, take a step back. So effectively, new projects, new tokens, new exchange listings, effectively use our launch platform as a way to distribute tokens to our user base. Now, this is effectively similar to a pre-sale offering. Under the launch platform, there are actually two product categories. We have launch pool and launch pad. Let's look at the first product category, which is launch pool. Now, this is a launch platform that's mainly used for blockchain token projects. It's there to help fundraise and increase the reach of pre-sale tokens called ICOs, or otherwise known as initial coin offerings. In total, Launch Pool has sold over $85.3 million in tokens from 17 completed projects. Fun fact, Alice, Reef, and Lit were all projects distributed on the Launch Pool platform. So if you own those, if you have one of those tokens, they were actually distributed via our platform. Now for the second product category, which is Launchpad, this is another launch platform, but the difference is that it's mainly used for exchange projects or fan token projects, so slightly different audience to the first product category. It's the same concept that's used to fundraise and increase the pre-sale of tokens called IEOs, or initial exchange offerings. Under the Launchpad platform, it has sold over $57.8 million in tokens across 23 different projects. Again, a different fun fact, Matic, Axie, you got eDrand, we got Werex, and ING were all projects distributed on the Launchpad platform. So in short, as an exchange or new product token, Binance team provides a full service offering starting from advisory services before the token is even issued to post-listing and marketing support. The goal of the launch platform is to effectively allow project teams to focus on the project development part and continue building products whilst Binance handles the marketing, the exposure, the initial user base, etc. So definitely apply for the launch platform if you're a new product project exchange. Listen, we can definitely help you to reach a global audience. So to give you an example of what the different product categories look like, under the launch pool, you can see the different projects that we have on your left, and we have the different pools where you effectively stake to claim the launch token. So obviously these tokens haven't launched yet, so you have to stake other tokens in order to gain those new tokens. So for example, Clay, we have two pools. You have BNB and BSD. So if you have BNB, you can stake BNB into this pool and then effectively gain X amount of Clay tokens in proportion to the total amount of distribution you have. The same with BSD. And then moving on to Launchpad, it's again a similar design concept. We have the different projects that you can see, and then obviously once you click on it, you can see the different pools as well that you can stake effectively. So that's launch platform. Now moving on to the fourth product, which is BNB Vault. So effectively, BNB Vault is a yield aggregator. This means that you put your BNB in a specific vault, so to speak, and you receive daily rewards from any active Binance Earn products that uses BNB. So these rewards comes from all of the previous Binance products I've mentioned before, which is Savings, Staked. These are all determined by the Vault investment logic. So effectively, you receive free tokens from all of the different active Binance Earn products that use BNB in one pool. So it's actually quite, it's a great platform, a great product to use if all you want to do is accumulate BNB over time. I know BNB Vault sounds quite deceiving. BNB Vault is similar to the different products. It's just effectively just transferring your crypto into your own wallet. You can actually opt out at any given time. With the BNB Vault, all you have to do is just add BNB to the BNB Vault, and then you can start earning BNB from all of the other Binance Earn products that use BNB. This allows you to accumulate BNB over time, and like I mentioned before, you can take your BNB out of the BNB Vault at any time with no hassle. It can still remain and keep your earned interest. So definitely give it a try if you just have BNB and want to accumulate BNB over time. This is what it looks like. As you can see here, you can see your kind of different types of Binance Earn products. You've got your savings, your Launchpad, launch pool, other rewards. Effectively, you just stake your BNB here, and then you can just gather interest from all of the active products that use BNB. So it's a very, very cool feature that we have on Binance. So moving on to the final product, which is Liquid Swap. Now, this is a yield farming DeFi protocol effectively used for people who want to have more of a high-risk investment strategy. So Binance Liquid Swap is actually based on a pool of liquidity. There's 2 tokens in each pool, and the relative amount of tokens determines the price between them. And it can be easily traded as long as there's corresponding tokens in that specific pool. So again, it sounds complicated. Definitely do a lot of research before you use this product. Effectively is you can swap your crypto if you need to get into a desired pool that you want to go into. For example, let's say you have Bitcoin, but you want to go into a let's say a BUSD liquidity pool. You can easily swap your Bitcoin with BUSD, and then you can add your BUSD into the liquidity pool and earn daily rewards. The great thing about liquidity swap is that effectively it's similar to I guess flexible savings, where you just effectively earn yield and earn interest on what you currently have. So it's definitely a really good platform if you want to provide liquidity, but also earn interest on top of that as well. The same with the previous Binance Earn products. You can remove your crypto from the liquidity pool at any given time. It's very, very simple to use. This is what it looks like. Again, give you a brief description. You've got the different pools. You have obviously the current liquidity that you have, the current yield, the volume if you're interested in the volume, and then you have the ability to add, redeem, and swap. It's really, really, really easy to use actually. Again, just to give you a bit more examples, if you want to swap, you can easily swap your crypto with another crypto. And on the right, you can actually see that you can actually add, redeem at any given time. So effectively, that's all of the different 5 products that we have. To give a brief summary, we have savings, we have staking, we have launch platform, we have BNB Vault, and then we have liquidity swap. So now we move on to actually how to use Binance Earn, give you some real use case scenarios, how to get started. So how do you actually get started if you're using the website? So the website's pretty simple. As I mentioned before, you go on Binance.com, you then hover over finance, you click on Binance Earn, you type your desired crypto asset you have. Let's say you have Bitcoin and you want to put Bitcoin in a Binance Earn product. Type in Bitcoin. You can then see all of the different products that we have just for Bitcoin. So the first is we have Bitcoin for flexible savings with a APY of 0.8%, flexible contract, and then you can transfer anytime. It's really, really simple to use. Let's say you want to transfer, you have the ability to, transfer your Bitcoin into this wallet. Make sure that you have the desired crypto first before you transfer it. And then you click on I agree. It's really, really simple. And that's kind of effectively what it looks like to transfer and opt in. Effectively, what happens then is you earn interest from your Earn wallet. So from a visual perspective, your Bitcoin will then be transferred from your fiat spot wallet to your Earn wallet, but you'll receive the interest on your fiat and spot wallet. So that's something that you have to keep on top of as well. And then to opt out, pretty simple to opt out. You then go to your Earn wallet, click on the asset, type redeem, and then you can click on, can take out as much as you need. You can click on max. There's an option between 2 methods of opting out. There's the fast redemption and the standard redemption. Now, fast redemption is instant redemption. So this is basically instant, opt out. Standard redemption is basically it's a 24-hour. You still hold your funds within the contract for 24 hours, and then you opt out. So you can still earn interest for that given day. Most people use the fast redemption because they just want to opt out straight away, and that's without any hassle. So up to you what you want to choose. But effectively, that is how it looks like on the web. Now, the app is pretty similar, just on an app interface. If you have the Lite app mode on your Binance app, how you can access Earn is by clicking on the Earn banner, as you can see here, and then clicking on either BNB Vault or Flexible Savings. We currently only have 2 products on Lite app. If you want to use more products, you have to switch to the Pro app, which has all of the 5 products available that I've mentioned. On the light tab, we have BNB Vault and only flexible savings. So let's say you want to get into BNB Vault. You read the product information, similar kind of user experience. You then transfer your BNB into this vault, and then you start accruing your interest daily. It's really, really simple. And effectively, you can opt out at any given time as well. So that's a visual representation of how to use Binance Earn, given examples of the website interface and also the app interface. Now let's get into, I guess, what most people have questions or concerns about is the community Q&A session. So we get asked this question many times, what is APY? Now I've mentioned APY many times in this presentation. If you don't know what APY is, in short, APY stands for annual percentage yield, which is the effective rate of return on an investment for 1 year, 365 days. Now, for example, a 5% APY means that by the end of 1 year, by the end of 365 days, you receive 5% interest. So to give you some examples, some real life examples, this is a screenshot taken from Binance Earn for Bitcoin. So we have Bitcoin as under flexible savings. We have a 7-day APY rate of 0.8%, and we can transfer. Let's say we've transferred 100 Bitcoin. So let's say you have 100 Bitcoin, you transfer all your 100 Bitcoin into this contract, and you subscribe to effectively 0.8% APY. So to calculate your interest per day is you take the 0.8%, which is the 1 year, 365 days. You divide it by 365 days. Effectively, what this does is it breaks it down into the interest or the APY rate per day. And then what you need to do then with this, 0.002.11708.082%, you times it by the Bitcoin that you have in this contract. So for this, it's 100 Bitcoin. So 100 Bitcoin times this amount, you get 0.219178082 Bitcoin. And what this is you'll receive 0.219 Bitcoin per day as an interest. And obviously, this is a 7-day contract. So you'll be able to see at the end of 7 days, you would have accumulated, this times 7, which is 1.53424657 Bitcoin. This is on top of the 100 Bitcoin that you've put into it. So in total, after 7 days, you have 101.5342657 Bitcoin. So in short, you put your assets in, you can calculate the APY rate per day, your interest rate per day, times it by the amount of days you're going to keep the funds in, and then you can kind of start to see your kind of earnings accumulate over time. Now, the great thing about flexible savings is you can opt out of this contract at any point, but you can still keep the interest. Also, something to note is the flexible savings, as it says in the name, it's flexible. So after every 7 days, the APY rate does change. So it's never going to always stay 0.8%. It's going to change depending on the market. So moving on to the second question, which is, am I eligible for Binance Earn? Now, Binance Earn is actually open to all verified registered users. What I mean by verified is after registration, you have to complete basic verification. Now, only until you pass basic verification is where you'll be able to then use and access Binance Earn. Also, something to note, make sure that you actually do have the crypto in your spot and fiat wallet. So in order to use Binance Earn, you actually have to have the crypto in question. If you want to go into Bitcoin savings contract, you have to have Bitcoin first. So that's something to also keep on top of as well. Now, the third question we get asked is, it's all in all, Binance Earn gives you passive income every single day, but what are the risks involved with these products? Now, as I mentioned before, there are different types of risks, but broadly, I've defined them into 2 different categories, which is a time risk and a value risk. Let's talk about the time risk. What I mean by the time risk is when you're using locked or fixed term products like fixed staking or fixed savings, your funds actually get locked until the contract expires. And now what this means is that if you want to earn all of the interest, you have to wait until the contract ends. this means that you won't be able to access those funds until the contract ends. So this means that obviously if you need funds quite quickly, you can still opt out, but you won't be able to earn the interest that you would have gained. Now, the second type of risk is the value risk. Now, this is something that a lot of people are confused about. So let me break this down. So in addition to the time risk that I mentioned, your assets will also be subject to real-time price movements of the market. Now, to give you an example to best illustrate this, let's say you've locked 1,000 Clay. Clay is a type of crypto for 90 days. Now, at the point of this webinar session, one Clay is about $0.925. So let's say, 92 cents. So the total USD value of your 1,000 Clay will be $925. Now, let's say the next day, the one Clay drops to $0.5 or 50 cents. You still would have your 1,000 Clay, but the total USD value will drop to $500. So I hope that makes a bit more clearer. You still have the asset that you've locked in, but the value of the asset will still be subject to the price movement of the market. So do bear that in mind as you're going for different products. So depending on the day-to-day movement of the market, you might feel that actually I don't want to risk this currently at the moment, or you can play the opposite way and say actually I want to put more assets in high yield products. So definitely do read up in each product more carefully, understand the risk involved, and make sure that you choose a product that is right for you. So going on to the fourth question, which cryptos or which crypto assets are supported? Now, there are over 100 different cryptos supported that you can use in any one of the Binance Earn products. It ranges from top cryptocurrencies to stable coins, even fiat currencies. And this is all accessible via fingertips within the Binance app or Binance website. Now, moving on to the fifth question is, how does Binance Earn compare to the rest? Now, this is something that I kind of just want to give you an illustration on, the power of crypto savings, essentially, in Binance is, on average, interest rates in traditional savings accounts across major banks in the US or Europe or even other major countries are about 0.5% APY, and most cases actually even less. Now, you also have to take into effect inflation. If inflation is higher than your savings APY rate, you actually end up losing value every year. You might be earning more, of your local currency, but you're actually losing, in terms of purchasing power, you're actually losing more value every year. Now compare that to Binance Earn products, which generally generates better APY rates on average. Some tokens record up to 3.3 to 5% APY at any given time. So we definitely offer a higher APY rate than traditional banks. By using Binance Earn, you end up saving and actually earning more passive income compared to traditional savings accounts. So if you've never touched and you never used Binance Earn before, this is a great time to get into it. Now, the sixth question and the last question we have on the community Q&A is, we get also confusion. We do have another product called Mining Pool. Now, this is not a Binance Earn product, but people get confused over the two between liquidity swap or liquidity pool and mining pool. In short, they are not the same. Mining pool is a proof of work mechanism pool, and liquidity swap is for yield farming for DeFi protocols. So they're both separate. We're going to touch on mining pool later on in another webinar. So if you're interested in that, definitely do check it out. But to answer this question, mining pool and liquidity pool or liquidity swap are not the same. So that's pretty much wraps up the end of this webinar. I hope you enjoyed it. Please slap a like and a comment below if you found this useful. We'll be doing more of these types of events and webinar sessions moving forward. So I definitely look forward to seeing you at the next one. Thank you so much for attending, and goodbye.